Hello, everybody. It's really happening. You're here. You're living it. It's the burning wheel. We did it, everybody. We are on time. Everybody is here. I feel really good about this week.
This
Congratulations.
is amazing.
Yeah. And then this is the part where everyone's internet dies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I should warn you, there is a hurricane on its way to me. So if I
God damn
vanish
it.
Yeah,
because of that.
same.
It's
Zeus.
Hurricane Joaquin. Yeah, you guys make it way worse than me, actually, huh?
It's
It's
been
just
pouring all
raining,
day.
so
Who decides how these hurricanes get named? Like, is there a long list that
It's
they just like, go
alphabetical.
through?
I would love to know. I know it's alphabetical, but beyond that, I have
I
no
don't know how they
idea.
came up with Joaquin.
I just had this conversation today on the podcast of mine that comes out today. There is like a group that does it, and they have them all planned out already through 2016.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
you could look up what.
So
the
they
next-
don't have anything to do with the personality of the hurricane. They're just like a name arbitrarily. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Like if you're gonna task that many people with that job, they may as well do it
Right.
based on
Yeah.
the merits
is-
of the hurricane.
Yeah,
It
like
is
I
such a
wanted to
good
think that they
job
were
with
naming it
Hurricane.
Hurricane Joaquin because it reminded them of Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's like him in personality and
Look on
tenor.
the radar, it kind of makes like a Joaquin Phoenix face. They like draw on it with a pen, like football commentators. See here how it.
Actually, wow! I'm looking at the name now, the list now, and it's through 2017.
Wow.
They have them all.
So
It's the
after
World
Joaquin,
War.
it's what, like Hurricane Motherfucker?
No,
Like
it's-
Hurricane Burger King?
It's Kate. Kate is next.
Oh my god, when are they going to start corporately sponsoring hurricanes?
That's
When?
well, that's
Yeah.
like that's yeah,
Would-
that's
Adam, would you want your brand to be associated with
Yeah.
the like?
It
Burger
depends on the
King?
brand. Like Hurricane Axe body spray. Like that's a real thing. Right?
I mean, that's appropriate.
That's true.
Hurricane
There's a
Axe
whole
body
idea
spray
about the
took another
rival.
45 lives today.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
the David Foster Wallace like the branded months
Yeah.
thing from what's that big book he wrote?
Infinite Jest.
Infinite Jest. You know
Yeah.
that one, that big one.
Yeah,
there's,
the big David Foster Wallace book everyone has claimed to have read, but no one
I've-
can really get through.
I
Yeah.
started it once.
It kind of started at once. I had a book club where we were going to read it, and then the book club never met. Go figure.
That is a torturous book club. You do not. Did you start with that book?
No, I that was a hypothetical,
Ooh,
Wow.
not a real.
that's heavy. Yep, David Foster
How's
Wallace.
it going?
So
Good. I'm suffering from some intensive feels from my stream earlier. I'm like, you know, it's been like a tough one
Hi.
when you finish streaming.
Oh, were you playing Life is Strange?
Yeah, I finished episode 4. You finish streaming and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, good. Now all I have to do is go play Burning Wheel. That as an as an emotional landmine. That's
It's
yep.
with these kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not doing you any favors.
Yeah, I have to go play a role playing game with Andrew now. Oh, thank goodness. You know that the game is intense.
When is episode 5? Isn't
Uh,
it this month?
18 days from now. Yeah, it's on the
Oh my
20th.
god.
I know.
I played the first one. I'm waiting for the last one to come out so I can just go through
Binge.
them and
Binge watch it.
try all the
Yeah.
They're all very feelsy, but they're very feelsy in very different ways.
Yeah, yeah, that's
The
totally-
episode
Yeah,
4
that's definitely-
is the first one that made me angry, and not like at the designers, but angry about the
Yeah.
narrative and just being like,
That's-
"Ah!"
nice.
So good. But then yeah, I'm feeling a little wrung out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game though so far. Digging it. I
Yeah.
hope they don't let me down in part 5.
Oh my gosh.
Austin, have you seen anything for Read Only Memory? That's gonna be the next thing that I'm.
Yeah,
I'm
I backed
playing.
that.
Yes.
I'm friendly with one of the lead writers on it.
Cool.
He's real cool, and it's like a super inclusive cyberpunk adventure game in like the style of Snatcher.
Yeah.
The art style is fantastic, and I'm really excited to dig into that when that's very soon, right? That's
Yeah,
next
with
week.
all that free time you have for games.
I know, right? I also want to play. There's this game out that has the best name. It's so good that I can never remember it. Which else.heart.break open parentheses close parentheses.
Oh my god, that's so nerdy.
It's a cyberpunk game in which you have to go around and try to sell people. I was just listening to someone pitch this. It's like pizzas. I think you're going around trying to sell people pizzas in a cyberpunk world. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Pizzas in a cyberpunk
Like my
world.
dream.
That's
I mean,
my
it
thing.
makes sense.
Last
That's-
week last week it was yurts
Yurts.
in a cyberpunk world. This year or this month it's pizzas.
Oh yeah, Andrew, you missed the whole conversation about cyber yurts.
Yeah, missed out.
I
Oh, yeah.
missed
Uh-huh.
or avoided.
Fair,
Oh,
both.
God.
The same.
don't act like you don't like the idea.
So yeah, Read Only Memories looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying it out. I think it'll be fun. I had forgotten, like so many Kickstarters, I had forgotten that it existed. I got super excited when it came out, and then I was like, oh yeah, that game. Yep.
Cool. Let me know how you like it.
I think I will. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I played the opposite of a cool little indie game last night, which was we streamed the Destiny raid.
I was about to say, is this Destiny?
It's Destiny.
How was
we
that?
streamed that last night. It went for 8 hours, the raid, and
Damn.
we won, but it was exhausting, and like I'm still way thrown off by it. So,
Yeah.
So I'm off today. That's if
I feel like I saw a lamenting tweet from you earlier that said that you still wanted to play more of it though.
Dude, like I woke up and played more today. Like before I went to work, I was like, I unlocked this new equipment. I gotta try it. Don't we not try it? It's bad.
The
It's
stickiness.
bad.
It's just the nature of MMOs.
It's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, playing some Destiny. It seems like it's made. It's because there's an expansion that came out recently, right? It's
The
like made
expansion came out, and like, here's the thing: that
Serious.
expansion, I want to be like, oh, it made that game good, but like, it brought that game to one, it brought that game to the potential that it had already, and two, like, it didn't innovate in any way. Like, its hot new features were like dialogue, a quest log, and like a gear progression system that makes any sense, and like there's like 3 extra tires that you added to a car, so suddenly it could drive. Like,
Yeah,
it
right.
already had good shooting, which was the first drive, the first wheel, and it was like, yeah. So, God. Anyway,
Is rating? I don't know anything about Destiny. I've only seen a few people stream it casually. Is rating like very role intensive? Like,
yeah. It's like an MMO raid, like where it's
okay,
only,
I thought maybe it was like a little diluted, but I have
it's
no idea.
it's a little diluted in the sense that there's only 6 people instead of 15 or 40 or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Right.
But
it's still odd groups, even left side, even groups, right side.
and like so here's like an early fight in that raid was there's like a big monster in a pit, and that monster can only get hurt when there are balls on like at the top of the ceiling that are filled with water. You break those and water falls, and only people standing in the water can do damage to it. So you need people who are shooting those things. You need people in the water pits. You need someone who's clearing ads that are coming that are like explosive zombie monsters, and you need people who are like drawing the hate from the monster in the middle. And you only have like 10 minutes to do this because otherwise you just like instantly wipe because the
course.
and kills you because MMOs. And so yeah, it's like anybody can fuck up there and the whole thing is ruined. Like even if it's just somebody who's their only job is to stand in a puddle and shoot this guy, if they
Good,
miss
that's-
enough times, that 10 minutes hits and you lose.
Right.
I like
That's a
that.
good number for that, though.
Yeah.
25 and 40 were bad numbers for that.
Right. Well, in this, it's cool because it's like you can really feel like you're collaborating. Where it's like, you say you did the thing that you're supposed to do, and you're like, all right, I'm in position. And it's like, oh, that feels like, ooh, I'm role playing as
Yeah.
a space hero.
I'm role playing as a competent combatant.
Yes.
Yeah, whereas in larger format games, it's like you're the one guy who's on point, but you have 3 other people who supposedly have the same job as you.
There's always that thing in raids, like as with WoW especially, where if you're a DPS, you can kind of just drag your ass and be like, I mean, unless it's like super intense heroic mode, you're probably gonna just get by okay. So
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
Eve is the only thing that's like the opposite of that, though, where like at the low level, if you're in a big group, no one even knows you exist, and like you have a job, and it will fuck up if you don't do it right. But in a way, I guess that's also like role playing as part of a giant military space corporation. So
There's always that guy who's like, what exactly would you say your job is?
Deliver widgets from this ship to this other ship.
Exactly. That's right. Taxman. Well, that's cool. Andrew, you've been away, yeah? Have you been back long? Or you've been just all over the place. How was your trip?
I was in Lexington, Kentucky for the North American Hardcourt Bike Polo Championships
Now remind me again, where is Kentucky?
in America.
Yeah, but what part of it? Because
It's kind of like verging on being in the southern United States, but it's not quite. It's like right in the middle in terms of north.
We do in fact consider it the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like culturally, I think it's fairly southern.
Oh, you were talking about geography just now.
But yeah, geographically, it's kind of in the middle of the right side of America.
Sure. Okay.
And because of our flight plan, like we had to drive from Detroit there, which was very interesting for me. I haven't really been in that part of the States before, and like a lot of stuff is really run down and old,
Yeah.
which is very wildly different from being on the West Coast.
There's bourbon though.
But
Plenty of
there's lots of bourbon if you're into that, and there are horses,
True.
and there's bike polo, and we played some bike polo, and that was good.
Yeah. Bike polo is also a thing that I only peripherally understand, but it looks cool.
I'll draw you a flowchart sometime.
Okay, thank you. Make me a role-playing game about playing bike polo, and then maybe I'll get it.
Okay.
What's the prime stat for a bike polo player? Dexterity?
Oh my god.
There are
Constitution?
different styles.
Style swearing?
You can be a goon.
Okay. See, look, we're designing a game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like my team did better than last year, so I'm pretty happy with how we played. Nice. And I have more bike polo this weekend. We're like hosting a tournament, a smaller like local tournament here in town. So
nice.
It's been taking up a lot of my time and energy.
Is bike polo like one of the sports that's dramatically affected by weather? Like if it rains like crazy, is it like do you just cancel it, or can you?
It's a problem, yeah, because it's played on like asphalt and it's not really.
Yeah, traction being a thing.
Traction's a thing, yeah.
That makes sense.
Anyways,
cool.
We're gonna be lucky, and the weather's gonna be good, and it's fine. So.
I feel like it's funny because for the most part, I don't want to generalize, but like the audience for like a live role playing game and the audience for people who know anything about bike polo are probably quite far apart.
The Venn diagram has very little overlap.
Yeah, and so I find the like whenever we talk about bike polo, I'm just like, this is so weird. I don't understand this at all, and I imagine the audience is like, Andrew is speaking sorcerer language to us.
You're like, this thing he's talking about seems so nerdy.
Well, yeah, like it's just as inaccessible as anything else.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool. And how are
I'm
things?
I'm gonna look up videos of that when we're done because now I'm really curious.
There at some point might be some video footage of me playing, which I will post.
Nice.
I definitely took an Instagram video of you riding your bike around in a circle, and there were some people hitting things with stuff. Maybe that's bike polo.
That's basically bike polo.
Okay, good, cool, good work. Cool. Well, should we try to dive back into the Burning Wheel? Should we make that happen? Look, I got new art for us and everything. Look at those Franks. Look at them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Can
it's like
you
a real
remind me what the Burning Wheel is? It's been so long.
It's a beard simulator.
It's a large.
Wait, I got rid of my beard last
object.
game.
That's right, you did. Yeah. Oh, heavy.
Shaving your beard
Mm-hmm.
while I bleed out.
We all make sacrifices. It's true.
So I think the big thing that happened in the last episode is the arrival of what someone referred to as Chekhov's bandits, because we learned about them at the beginning of the episode.
Loaded bandits in the early part of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So we learned about Egbert and his coterie. Who were Egbert, who was like a former knight in the employ of the Duke, who left after something. We don't know why he was exiled or run off or whatever. Rumor was that he had like started these like bandits that had been kind of marauding the area. The impression that y'all got, I think it was Agnes and Basil that had this conversation with the now Duchess Graustad about how she had this very kind of heroic idea of him, that he was going to like rescue her or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, she had some fairy tale idea about what was going to happen there.
Can't this one be true? Can't this one fairy tale idea be true, Adam?
No, of course.
Can they run away together and be happy?
Yeah.
You're the player characters. Make it happen. Don't look at me. It's not my job.
I can't move a man's heart, Adam.
You roll
Look,
some stuff.
Make a belief about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, literally, if you believe it hard enough and don't screw up your rolls, it'll come true. What else is going on in the village? Sister Liana hasn't been seen for some time because she's having a crisis of faith thanks to Basil.
I make things happen. What can I say?
There was that whole CSI Graustad thing with the woodsman, and you were like finding the plants in the like dead plants and stuff, and trying to like harass poor Gustav, who everyone knows is just a nice guy trying to do his job.
Don't trust him.
And he's in the dungeon now,
I do think he was trying to do his job. I want to be clear. I do think he was trying to do his job. I think he had a bad job.
Or he was just doing it. He shouldn't have been doing it.
I think it was a job no one should be doing.
Okay, that's
Maybe,
fair.
depending on what it is. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. So why was he being harassed again? Why is he in the dungeon? What are his supposed crimes?
The woodsman saw him doing some sort of weird handoff with the sister, the nun. And we wanted to know what that was about, and he wouldn't tell us.
Correct.
So,
No.
so then I cooked up this thing, which was that like I caught him in a lie, so he's in jail because of perjury. That's what he did wrong.
Because we had to do it by the book.
Right, we had to do it by the book. None of that other stuff mattered. The thing that mattered was
Well, nothing else worked.
Yeah.
right,
Fair.
right. Don't remind me.
You want to be technically correct, which, as we all know, is the best kind of correct. Yeah. Okay. So he's in the dungeon, and at the end we saw the rooster get Julius Caesared, historical spoilers, by the soldiers when he went to go and lay down the law, so to speak, among them, following, I might add, Basil's orders, which has been a continued problem for the two of you. Free will versus doing what you're told versus built-in conditioning.
I don't like how many of these sentences are Basil did this and then a bad thing happened. I don't like how many. I don't like that sentence structure so much.
You've been doing good things too, Basil, like making sure people don't starve and
Right.
trying to run the village and speechifying, which is important. You keep people in line. And so, what was your reasoning for the whole beard severance situation?
Because word came back that Rooster had been killed or had been. Who saw him? Was that Woodsman who saw him? I don't.
The woodsman found my
I
leg.
brought back the claw.
Right.
That's right.
And you reported the bandits attacked.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just like that was a moment for Basil to be like, I am wrong about so many things, and if I'm going to commit to this, I can't be walking the line.
Yeah.
That was kind of where he left it. Was like, I can't be this dude who is telling Rooster to do this stuff and also telling him he can be his own man and like lording myself over other people and wearing the beard of the ruling class, you know.
Basically, when I got stabbed, all of Austin's pathos came out of me, and it flew over and got into him.
Exactly.
In action.
That's exactly it. Oh, and I was waiting for the last scene was I shaved while someone was retrieving my horse so we could go try to find.
That's
Rooster
right.
in the
That's
middle of the
right.
night.
Okay. Well, let's review, because it's been a while. Let's review our beliefs and our instincts and our traits, shall we? Would you like to start us off, Rooster?
Okay. I just quickly redrafted one of mine.
Okay.
My companions are strangers to hardship. It is my place to bear the worst of it for them. Basil thinks that I'm fit to lead because he doesn't understand the lot of a slave, and it is his place to bear the responsibility, not mine. I'm not dying for this revolution. I have to survive this no matter the cost, and then in brackets, to my friends, allies, etc.
I have to survive no matter the cost to everyone else.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so that one's kind of directly in conflict with the first one, but we'll see how that goes. And then my instincts are always defer to authority. When someone tries to touch me or connect emotionally, push them away. And when there is downtime, hone my fighting skills. And I am masterless, scarred, gambling addicted. I'm a survivor. I'm pliant, silent, and brutish, as well as lame, broken, and stubborn.
A finer individual the revolution has never seen.
A true hero of the revolution.
Truly, a man of the people.
I mean, he's people. He's a person.
Okay, cool. I'm into it. Woodsman, how about you? Do you want to discuss your beliefs?
So the woodsman, he believes he betrayed himself and his family, and he won't let himself become close to anyone. I think the world is a cold, violent place, and life has little meaning, so I don't mind risking mine without pause. And I still don't have a third belief, which I should probably just put on at this point. Instinct-wise, I'm immediately suspicious of strangers, so my guard is never down around them. I don't sleep well at night, so I wander and hone my skills in the late hours. And upon the first hint of danger, I conceal myself as best I can. And my traits are broken man, fearless, mind-numbing work, alcoholic, determined, greedy, entrepreneurial, and ulcer.
Excellent. Cool, cool. All right, Agnes?
Sure. Okay, so my beliefs are they're basically the same. I reworded them a little bit. So I will seek out ways to gain more knowledge about our mission. It's a little bit more broad. Or this is kind of a new one. Kill them with kindness. If that doesn't work, get physical.
Like they kill them with kindness or killing. Kill them with killing.
Right. Well, I want to explore this, like, Agnes's, like, the nice guy thing. Good guy Agnes. Unless things don't go the way I want, and then I just throw punches.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I must embody the strength of the revolution to effect change. Instincts, when resting, practice my punches and kicks, strive for perfection, never work quickly, and always have bread for the party. And my traits are rebel rouser, geometric, drunk, broken in, backbreaking labor, flowery, perfectionist, woman of few words, big boned, determined, power hungry, and greedy.
Excellent. Very well-rounded individual.
Yeah.
All right, and Basil?
So I rewrote a belief and an instinct.
Ooh,
My beliefs are: this curse sullies our accomplishments, and it must be undone at any cost. For faith to have any place in our new world, the will of God can no longer be an excuse for the sins of man. And because I delegated out of fear, Rooster is hurt or worse. From now on, I will lead by actions instead of only words. Instincts are: whenever you have a moment free, review the writings of my mentor, the philosopher Gertrude. Never let a friend walk into danger alone, which is going to get me into trouble. And always fight dirty.
Awesome. And
traits: haunted, muttering, cynical, cowardly, contemptuous, and coiffed. Though that one, I guess, is now.
You still got your hair.
I still have my hair. It's true.
Yeah.
Also, mark of privilege and your lordship.
Awesome. Okay. So, let's cut in on maybe the sort of like blurry semi-darkness. We can kind of make out a campfire burning somewhere nearby. It's cold. There's some figures around, and Rooster, we're seeing from your perspective. There are figures around, and they seem to be arguing in a language that the Rooster doesn't understand about what to do with you.
Right, 'cause they have that weird dialect, right?
Yeah. And you're in like no small amount of pain, but you're kind of coming in and out of consciousness. And they seem to like argue a little bit. One of them is holding a like a leather bag, and they're both wearing like fur. You can kind of like move or look around, but what do you want to do?
So I think Rooster like stays quite as still as he can, and like just opens his eyes and is like darting them around, looking for like what the fuck is going on. Definitely not the first time in his life that he's woken up like this, and needed to just like be sure of what was going on before he opens his mouth.
Okay. Why don't you make a well, there isn't really anything you're going to be able to miss exactly, so you don't need to make a test. Well, I mean, what do you want to know about the situation?
So there are these two people arguing that I can see, and there's a campfire.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a sense of what's going on because, like, the last I saw, I was being like killed by my own troops, and now I'm with these like random dudes. Like, it doesn't add up for Rooster. Like, there's this big
Definitely.
gap where a bunch of important stuff happened,
Yeah.
and he didn't know about the bandits showing up. So.
Yeah, you seem to be in the woods somewhere, like deeper in the woods. There's you're in maybe a small clearing. You see probably about a dozen people around, mixed group of men and women. And the people that are arguing, it appears to be a woman and a man who, you can kind of make out their profiles from the flickering of the campfire light. And they look like closely related, like brother and sister maybe.
Okay, and does Rooster clue in at all to the fact that like this dialect that they're speaking sounds vaguely like the local accent on the like common language, or am I like super oblivious to it?
What languages do you just speak the common tongue, right?
Yeah, whatever orders we're being given in is the language. I speak.
Right, of course. Okay. Yeah, you don't know too much. So I'm looking at Basil. Yeah, I don't think you know too much about languages in general. But you could make a test to remain like quietly observant of the situation. You don't have observation though, do you?
I'm learning it.
All right. Well, then
this could also be inconspicuous, I guess, or something.
I think it's more because it's more you're trying to pick up information, right?
Yeah. So I'm happy to roll observation. Yeah. What's my obstacle?
I think like you're just trying to pick out like maybe what they're like. You want to like you're focusing on the like them speaking, right?
Yeah, and just like any detail that's going to give me a clue to like
Okay.
what is going on.
Obstacle 2.
Ob 2. Okay. Yeah. So no modifiers, no Artha, base ob 2.
Okay. All right.
All right, because I'm still wounded.
Poor wounds.
I'm terrible at stuff.
Okay. So now you can I know you're rolling for your observation, but you can have a choice. You can take this as a test towards observation generally, or you can that can be a beginner's luck test for their language if you want, whichever you want to take.
I'd rather learn observation.
Okay, cool. So you're more like body like cues and stuff. You're not listening for words you recognize.
Yeah, I think maybe what Rooster is like, he's like, okay, I don't understand them, but what are they talking about? He's like trying to get a sense of whether or not this is
talking about you for sure. You get gestured at a bunch of times. The man seems like more aggressive and in a hurry. He's like trying to, and again, remember you failed, so this is just what you're picking up. He seems to want to do something like now about you, and the woman is trying to placate him, or like she seems to agree with him generally, but is trying to like get him to like slow down. And they're referring to a third party who doesn't seem to be present. She keeps pointing over her shoulder at somebody else or something else.
Yeah, so I think at this point Rooster is just gonna speak up. Like, so I kind of like push myself onto one elbow because I assume I'm like flat on the ground basically.
Yeah. So you put your hand down and you're actually on a like a not a stretcher, but like something like it. You were carrying
probably something that's used to haul meat around.
Yeah, and you like turn and there's this like searing pain from where you were stabbed. And I don't know. Do you
cough?
Yeah, I'd say, do you like cry out at the pain? Are you quiet?
Maybe I make a steel test. Stay quiet.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's see, because you might just pass out.
Is there an obstacle for this or?
Yes. So you're trying to resist. What are you trying to do? I guess.
I don't want to like. I want to be able to like speak clearly despite my injuries, that kind of thing. Like, I want to at least have a brief moment where I'm like coherent.
Okay, yeah, and actually that makes sense. So let's say if you pass the steel test, you can stay conscious long enough and like cogent enough to like communicate for a bit. If not, yeah, then you just black out from the pain.
Cool.
And we'll say probably ob. What kind of wound do you have? You have a midi wound?
Yeah, it's gonna be -2.
Ob 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
No dice.
Yeah, so I just like pass out.
Yeah. And I think maybe the last thing you see is the they stop when they notice that you've like turned and groaned. And that seems to have resolved some part of their discussion.
Yeah.
you get the body language of like, see, I told you. And then the woman comes over and like kneels down and is like addressing you, but her voice comes to you through
It's all,
like
like-
deep water.
Yeah, Charlie
And-
Brown.
Yeah, and you fade into warmth and darkness.
Cool.
So meanwhile, where's everybody else?
I've definitely tried to bring Woodman and the Baker. And are there still any troops in the not our troops, but the kind of town's remaining troops in Graustadt Manor?
There are the like house guard, yeah, the ones you tangled with before.
Right. I'm trying to bring them with me to where Rooster was, or I guess not, because I wanted my horse. I think I was just going to sprint away, which is a mistake, but I think that's what he's going to do.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be on your horse headed for the soldiery?
Yeah.
Okay. Woodsman and Agnes, where are you at?
Well, are there extra horses?
Yeah. If you want to go if you like are like, no,
yeah,
Basil, I'm coming with you. That's
definitely
okay.
I would definitely come. So
Yeah, I mean I want to go too because I would rather follow Basil than do nothing at the castle or wherever we are.
Okay. All right. So the three of you all head out that way. Okay. All right. So you you immediately, like upon leaving the walls of Grouchshed Castle, head out into the night, and you can see like fire and smoke coming from where the barracks are. And it doesn't take that long on horseback to get down there, but it's dark as hell. I think you get within 100 yards or so, and you can see you come around the corner and you can see the barracks are aflame with it's just been set on fire.
Cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I tie up the horse at a post or something. All right, we need to find some way of finding them. Woodsman, can you track them from here, or is this?
All right. Let's take a look. All right, so I want to do something. I think. Hold on, I'm
Good call. That's
be
important.
familiar with myself with what the hell I can do.
What am I capable of doing?
Tracking.
So, yeah, take a look at your character sheet. So just to give you like a quick rundown of the area, like this is the sort of disused logging camp. There's a lot of like uprooted stumps sort of in the close vicinity, but it's all old. They're like the holes have been like sort of filled by time. There's the river running icy and cold nearby, and there's obvious signs of battle. There's heavy like horse hoof prints that have kicked up clods of dirt everywhere. There's like blood sort of like splashed around. And off to one side, you can see that like after the battle, the dead have been like laid out in a line and like covered. Like they're just their faces, because there's not a lot of like extra cloth lying around, but like their eyes or their faces are covered, and their bodies have to a man have been stripped of their gear, so they're all wearing like just their sort of underclothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see maybe like a set of obvious like a set of wagon tracks.
Okay. Well, I take a look at the wagon tracks in particular, and I'm like, that's the way we need to go if we're gonna get your rooster back. So you guys want to go, or do you want to check out those bodies?
I walk over to the bodies, and how many of them are there?
However many soldiers there were, plus some more. So probably like more than a dozen, certainly.
Are there any other bodies? Is there any way I could know if all of the soldiers who are here are dead? Would I have to go through them face by face?
Yeah, I mean, just
And
a
even
cursory glance,
yeah.
you see a lot of very like grievous wounds. Like some of them are missing limbs.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean if the bodies here are dead.
Oh,
I
you mean
mean,
like?
Are there soldiers? Can I deduct that there are deduce not deduct? Can I deduce that there might be a soldier or two left alive, maybe with these people?
I mean, there's no living soul here, but the three of you that you can see.
Okay.
If there are soldiers, they've fled into the woods and are hiding,
Okay.
or
I
run
don't know
off
if
to the
everyone was
town.
accounted for in these bodies. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd have to go through them because it seems to be a mix. Like some of the bodies, and actually, I guess this is a thing you notice. Some of the bodies have like swirling sort of blue tattoos on parts of their body,
Okay.
and they match, and they seem to have been piled together.
Interesting. Okay. We'll bury them in the morning. Let's go. And I kind of let Woodsman lead the way with the wagon
All right.
tracks.
Satisfied?
Yeah.
What about you, Agnes? Are you coming with us?
Satisfied as I'm gonna get.
All right, let's go. Just
Yeah.
do me a favor. Try to be a little quiet.
Do our best.
So, Adam, I guess we're just going to follow these wagon tracks as far as we can. Do we need to... does it lead us to a destination, or do we lose the trail at some point?
Well, why don't you make a tracking test for me?
Okay.
Let me find your obstacle here.
Can I help with astronomy? With the power of the moon?
I mean, probably.
No.
Do you
I
have
don't know.
astronomy?
For navigation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Oh,
have
man,
astronomy.
astronomy is the shit. We talked about astronomy, right? And how it can be like the astronomy die helps with everything.
I thought that was
nice.
astrology.
Oh, it's astrology. That's right. Ah,
Mm.
it's the fake science that helps. Let me.
Just change that to astrology. Don't just do it. Don't tell anybody.
That'd be cool if the actual.
Oh, that's not how I draw an N. That's how I draw an L.
Oh,
I-
whoops.
I mean,
That's how
the
I
keys are
type
so
it out.
close together. Astronomy. I don't. What skill is this? It's the whatever one I want. Okay, let me find my skill list here.
Can I help with hunting?
Yes, definitely, absolutely. That's definitely
yeah.
helping.
Should I be... so I have tracking, but I also have orienteering. I assume tracking is the more relevant skill here, but...
Yes, it is. Tracking is exactly what you're doing, but you can remember you can fork. Don't forget to
Yeah.
fork.
Well, I would like to fork orienteering.
Okay. All right. So let me get your thing for you. So you're gonna roll tracking. You can add a die for orienteering. You can add a die for help from Basil from hunting. And let me see. Tracking is okay. Cool. Do you have any other skills you want to fork? Or Agnes, do you have anything you want to help with?
I don't have anything else that makes sense. Inconspicuous, maybe?
Hmm.
Not really
Save
tracking,
that
but,
one.
like,
You'll need that one.
If we were to find something, that would be
All right.
more...
All right, so that is... Let's see.
All right. So the obstacle: following fresh tracks on hard earth. Ob 3.
Okay, and I'm forking one skill, and I'm getting help from one person or two? What was that?
Basil's helping, but Agnes is
Yeah, I'm helping. Agnes, you don't have hunting or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that's 3 modifiers, I guess. Forking is just adds a die, right?
Yes, forking adds an extra die. So how many dice you got now?
3, I think.
Because you start with what do you start with?
Where is it? I just lost it. 4.
Cool. All right. So go ahead and click your skill next to tracking there, and then add when it asks you, add your extra dice.
Okay. And you said obstacle 3?
Ob 3. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, killing it.
Woo.
Good work.
Awesome.
7 dice. Nice job. Okay. So this is your thing, Woodsman. You're out in the woods. And the people that did this didn't really make too much of an effort to hide their tracks. There's a stormtrooper joke in here somewhere. But yeah, so you're able to follow them through the woods. Are you just gonna like follow the trail until like something stops you, or do you have like a particular distance you're willing to go from the?
I think I would want to know if at any point we sort of get a feel for how many people we're following.
Yeah.
Because then if we approach our sort of endpoint, I think we would fall back a little bit and.
Sure. Do you want to make another tracking test so I'll tell you how
Sure.
many of them there are?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay, because yeah, they're two separate things. So identifying number of creatures from the tracks, ob 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so for those of you who helped, like Austin, don't forget to mark a test for hunting against ob 4.
Right. I always do forget that.
Okay. So you figure the attack party was probably a dozen men. I mean, like humans. And you can tell that they're armed, but wearing like non-uniform boots. They seem to have ridden in on horseback, though not all of them. Dismounted and then attacked, and then there's just the like scramble of the battle.
Yeah. Time is it? Is it nighttime?
Yes, it's very much nighttime. It's like 3 a.m. probably.
So they were attacked on the trail?
No, they showed up and attacked the camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I convey that to my comrades here, and I say, well, are you guys comfortable to keep approaching, or you want me to maybe slip in there and do a little surveillance first?
I think that's a good idea. No,
You're gonna send him in danger alone?
No, I'm gonna go with you.
Well,
I can't.
we
Agnes, you should stay here though. It's too risky.
Oh shit.
all right. Well,
Agnes, do you just let him? Is that's it? You're just like, okay.
What am I gonna do here?
We already lost Rooster, and I'm very nervous about losing more of you. If more of us, I don't believe I just said we lost Rooster, but we have to get him back. He's not dead. He's just.
And I can help with that. If I stay here, what am I gonna do? Like bake bread on the embers?
Okay, fine.
you could do that.
I could. It's very tempting, actually.
She's
But
very
I'm
skillful.
helping you.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right. Well, just stay low and let's try to approach. I think as slow as possible. And so, I don't know. Is there anything we want to? I don't know. Adam, do you want to tell us what we approach?
Yeah. I'll draw on the map where you go, and I'll tell you when there's something worth like pausing for. So just a little ways down the trail follows the river, and then cuts across in an area where there's sort of a hidden ford. So there's a bunch of like trees and brush that have been looks like intentionally grown to kind of like cover this area. But if you follow the trail, you see that there's a way to get sort of under it. And there's an area of the river that runs more slowly. It's like closer to the ground. So they ford the river there, and then hook back, and head up that way. So the whole trip takes like several hours. Especially traveling with folk who aren't as used to like woodcraft as you are. But I would say like close-ish to dawn. You come over a little hillock. And you can see a handful of campfires burning. I would say there's like 3 of them, 3 campfires down at the bottom of this little gulch. And you're up above. There's like pine trees everywhere, and you can see down there's like a half dozen tents and some folks moving around. They seem to be just like getting up. for the morning. So some of them are like tugging like cloaks around their shoulders and stoking the fire, and and this is all in this sort of pale grayish blue light as dawn comes up over the forest. So yeah.
All right. So I turn to Basil, and as we're looking over this scene, I'm like, so Basil, are you sure the rooster of yours is worth this encampment being approached? I'm not sure we have the manpower here.
We can't take them head on, but Rooster isn't mine. He's ours. He was there with us that day.
We all own him. He is
He's ours. Yeah, exactly.
Well, he certainly was there with us. I agree with that much. But
You're right that we can't. I'm not saying that we go in there and try to kill these people, but we have to see if he's there, and we have to see what condition he's in, and if we can, we have to retrieve him. I don't know if that means talking things over with these people, or if it means sneaking in there and stealing him away.
I think
All
this
right.
may be an opportunity for your silver tongue, Basil. We know that Eckbert was not happy with the Duke.
This is true.
Maybe he's not so different from us.
That's a big risk to take,
Mm.
but maybe you're right.
I was gonna say we sneak in there, grab the rooster, and get out. But if you want to try to walk right in there and talk to them, I'll try to cover you from a safe distance.
That's a good idea. Okay, here's what I think we do. I think we Agnes and I walk in, hands up, no threat to them, and we speak with them, and we explain the situation in Graustadt. We explain what's happened. We explain that we would like to recover our comrade, that he was wounded, but that he's ours, and if they are not willing to be civilized about this, then we come back later and recover him. If they do attack us, woodsman, please feel free to let loose your arrows. But if he's still alive and with them, then I can't imagine that they would kill him just because we came to ask for him. That would be cruel.
Yeah, well, I gotta say these guys aren't necessarily the gentle type from what I've seen so far. And by the way, did I mention that our boy Johann is among them? I think I said that a while back, didn't I?
You did. Out of character. Yeah, I forgot you did say that. Yes.
Okay. Well, so I just want to remind you that Johann is among them, and that you should probably look. I've got a bad feeling about Johann. He helped us out with the winter preparations, but he's got something against me. So should you encounter him, let's just assume I'm not here. And maybe even you should assume feelings of distaste towards me. Maybe just not mention me, or even throw a few insults if I come up, because I don't think my presence will be very favorable to these folks.
Woodsman, I don't know how anyone could ever find anything bad to say about you, but I'll.
I know.
All right, let's go. And
Okay.
Agnes and I think, step kind of openly, hands up. Like not up, but like yep, yeah, exactly, like that, like out, yeah.
So there's a path down this sort of escarpment, and you head that way out in the open. Woodsman, you're trying to remain hidden.
Yeah, I think I want to be stealthy. So if there's, maybe I should roll stealth.
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. What's the?
It'll be an opposed roll.
Okay.
So you go ahead and roll. You can add in if you have any forks. You want a fork? You can do that.
Can I fork bow into? Does that make sense?
No, it's not time for the bow yet.
Okay. Observation. Orienteering.
You might be able to fork, like you're looking for skills that are related to the situation that you're in. So like, about being out in the woods, about staying hidden in those kinds of situations. Like hunting would be a fork that you could have here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay.
If either of us had like conspicuous, could we help?
Yes,
like
if you were intentionally
drawing
trying to be
attention.
conspicuous, yeah.
I don't have it yet. I'm opening it, but
Okay.
or I'm learning it, but I
Sure.
didn't know if Agnes might have.
Yeah, do you have
I have
conspicuous?
inconspicuous.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. So go ahead and roll your stealth. You have the one extra fork. I'll give you an extra advantage die because you have a higher ground. You have that advantage.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can do that.
All right.
And then I'll roll to try and beat you. Nice. Okay. So 3 successes. So I will roll. The only way that he can spot you is if I get. I'm gonna give him an advantage for being hometown. The only way I can do it is if I get almost all of them as successes, which I did not do.
Nice.
Okay, so you remain hidden. You get your intent, and you are hidden while you wait for your friends to reach the bottom of the gulch. So describe your approach to me, Basil and Agnes.
So what is coming? I would like to step in a way that is like they can see us from a far distance away, so it's not like we've popped out of the woodlot. Like,
yeah, surprise!
Surprise! Hey, we're here. Hands,
Are we?
So that
Are
means, like,
we even maybe like calling out like "Hello"? Is that
Yeah,
anyone
that's-
here?"
that's a good idea. You can do that.
If there's like a main path entering the camp, like maybe the path the cart came along, maybe open area, go
Yeah.
through there.
Mhm.
Totally.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Acts like we
Well,
couldn't
as soon as you start like calling out and walking down the path, a bunch of the people in the camp like turn to look, and I think the closest to you, the ones who were sort of like on watch as the dawn was coming, they shouts an alarm in the language that they speak that you don't understand, and you see a few of them. There's two men, like a man and a woman, grab bows and sort of point them in your direction, and a woman comes out of one of the nearby tents like quite quickly, and she's like lacing up her like tunic, and she walks out, and she's got like long, probably formerly quite bright red hair that is now sort of grayed. She appears to be in her early 40s, not very tall, but like quite strong looking. She comes out and she's like doing up her tunic, and she pulling a cloak over her shoulders, and she looks up and sees you, and then gestures for one of the men that has a bow to come up to meet you.
Okay.
Do you stop, or you want to keep moving?
Yeah, I stop when the guy starts coming up. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. So the guy down at the bottom keeps the bow trained on you. One guy runs up to you, and then another starts to, or she starts to approach sort of more slowly. She's like buckling her like sword belt on. You seem to have caught her kind of in the middle of her mourning. The first one to you has drawn a short sword. And you recognize it immediately as one of the swords that your soldiers were equipped with before you left for town. So he's like pointing it at you, and again, like speaking that language to you, and gesturing, but you're not quite sure what he wants. What do you do?
I point at my sword and then point at the ground.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
that,
He leans over and takes it, and pulls the sword out and throws it on the ground with a clang. Do you have any obvious weapons on you, Agnes?
I have like knives in my pockets.
Okay.
Can I just say that like as soon as I saw weapons out, I'm like bowed out, like arrow knocked, good to go.
Yeah, of course.
Just making sure that's
Yep.
you're aware of that.
You're hidden, so there's no question of whether or not you're going to get to act first because they don't even know you're there. So if you have a
Okay.
thing you want to do, especially shooting an arrow at someone, you just let me know. We'll make it happen.
Okay.
Okay, so as she approaches, the man like pats you down. Agnes, are you trying to hide any of your weapons or?
Not really.
Okay.
I have my hands out in front of me, and
Okay.
they're like in my apron.
Okay,
Tucked
so
into my
he holds the sword to you, and like he pats you down as quickly as he can, like taking your knives and like tossing them to the ground. And then the woman approaches, and she looks at you, the two of you, and kind of sneers, and you can see that she's got like 3 of her front teeth are like iron.
Ooh.
And she's got some pretty nasty scars. Like she's got a big scar on her forehead, and like you can see it like goes up into her hairline, so she's like missing the hair where the scar is.
Right.
And her arms are like fucking like ropey as hell, and like also like covered in scars. And she looks you at the two of you, and says to Agnes, like she looks like she's trying to decide who to address, and then says to Agnes, "What are you doing here?"
I say, I'm sorry, it's so early. We just sort of stumbled upon your camp here, and I'm like side-eyeing Basil, like hoping he'll cut in.
Yeah. I out of character. What was the knight's name again?
Egbert.
Egbert?
Egbert. Right. Is there Is there a Sir Egbert here?
So
Egbert?
you start to talk, and she puts her hands up, and she's like, "Quiet, I was speaking with her."
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's sorry. Shrink.
Well, as my friend said, we're looking for an Egbert. We have a friend of his who would like to contact him.
She kind of like squints and looks back and forth between you. Do you want to make let's make a roll, Agnes?
Okay.
Because, I mean, that's sort of true. Like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get an audience with Egbert?
Yeah. Well, yes.
That's your
I
intent?
want to kind of use Ilya as a
Oh.
potential way to get him to not murderize us.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, technically, you're lying because she wasn't like.
Well,
you're,
yeah.
you're like sort of lying, but it's still, I would say, falsehood.
They're not like buddies or anything.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
You had a sleepover.
Well,
you
we're
mean
buddies. They're
Right.
not
I
buddies.
see you. Yeah.
Okay. Make a falsehood test.
Oh.
How I do that?
Do you have a falsehood? I don't think you do.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. It's a opposed test. You're gonna roll your will.
Okay.
And she's gonna roll her will and double the number of successes she gets. So if you by some miracle get to beat her, then she will believe your
Oh my
lie.
god. Is there anything I can use? Maybe. I'm learning stealthy, but I don't know if that would help in this situation.
Nah, you have to have the skills.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Okay, I'm just gonna add a character sheet for her real quick because she actually warrants one.
Yeah, I don't have anything then. Okay. Well.
Stats and skills. Here we go. Okay. Well, I'll give you your obstacle, and then we can see how it goes. Hope I roll badly. Wow, no successes. So if you can get even one, she'll believe you.
Come on.
What's my ob?
Oh, hold on. You know what? I think I did that wrong. I think that it's just ob 3 because let me read the skill.
Will.
It's just her will. Yeah, it's not an opposed roll. Okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be ob 6. So she's not gonna believe you.
Yeah, there's no.
You get to
Make that
learn how to
roll.
be a good liar.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna get the.
you know, maybe she'll be able to spend persona to get this.
Well,
So
roll your will. You
Alright,
you
here
say
we
you're
go.
are you already learning falsehood?
No.
Okay. Okay, ob 6. So you have a choice. You can take this as a challenging will test if you need one, or you can mark it towards learning falsehood.
That's interesting.
Yeah. If you need I would say take the challenging will test if you need it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, because then your will go up.
Oops.
Okay, so you don't get what you want. You don't get the. This is the thing is like I can decide because your intent wasn't to convince her of the truth of your statement. It was to use the statement to get a different thing you wanted. So you're not going to get that thing that you wanted. You're not going to get the appointment. But she doesn't necessarily not believe you. So do you use Ilya's name? Like do you call her by name, or are you just like we're friends of a friend of Egbert's?
I don't use her name.
Okay.
Not
Alright.
yet, anyway.
All right. So she looks at the two of you, and she kind of like scoffs and says, I know all of Egbert's friends personally, and you are none of them. And she kind of like looks at the weapons on the ground. But I don't think you're assassins either. Very strange. And she looks to the guy with the sword, who's just kind of standing there scowling now. She's like, tie them up. And he runs back to get some rope. And she picks up your sword, Basil. Like looks at it. She's like, "This is a nice blade. Where did you get it?"
Now I have to decide where I got it. What sort of what's the name of the city that the central city that
It's called Freiburg now.
Okay.
Though it wasn't always called that.
what did it used to be called?
I don't know. Probably
okay.
something like ostentatious in the like old imperial language.
Right. He just says Freiburg. Freiburg. I know a good smith there.
She nods. She says, "You look like city folk."
I've spent my time in the woods.
She kind of like hefts it, and she's like, "Well, thank you for this gift," and like puts it in her belt.
I bow a little bit, and like while I'm doing the bow, I like turn my head to where the woodsman is and give him like a no gesture.
Yes, the secret head shake for no, don't shoot her.
Don't
or...
shoot.
Don't
her.
shoot this asshole.
Please don't shoot.
So the man comes back with a length of rope and like grunts at you because he can't speak the same language as you. He like grunts at you, Agnes. Like, put your arms out.
I do it. Is there any way I can use I have symbology. Is there any way I can use that to like try to figure out like where they come from? Is there anything written anywhere in the camp that I can see?
Yeah, you can do a quick glance. So symbology is with the study of, it's like a general, like it's not heraldry, but it's something kind of like that, right?
Yeah, it is. Symbology is the study of ancient and obscure symbols. A symbologist can recognize / interpret these marks and signs.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
This is a pretty cool skill. I like the skill a bunch.
Nerd skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Semiotics.
Make a make a symbology test.
Okay.
I'm gonna say obstacle.
Should it just be an
Up
open-ended
to.
test where she gets more?
I'm placing the obstacle at the like level of their symbology, right? Like figuring out, because it's not like obscure arcane symbols, but it's not like common symbology either.
Wait, why isn't that in my skill list? That's weird.
Did you train symbology? Let's take a look at your character.
It's am I lying? Am I just lying?
You may not even have it. Yeah, it's on. If it's on the character burner list, it was an option, or maybe you're just inventing it. I don't see it anywhere on.
Oh,
here.
and no, I don't. Okay. It's here, but I don't actually
You
have
didn't put
it.
points in it. Okay.
No.
All right.
Never mind, I didn't do any of that.
You're like, God, I wish I could recognize or even have thought about it. So maybe you
I-
kind of recognize one of the symbols, and you're like, I fell asleep during that class, damn it.
Yeah, hag, I was drunk during that class. Why?
Okay. All right, so you allow the soldiers to tie the two of you together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll go to our first break with that as the two of you are led. Like she takes the reins and like pulls you sort of down the rest of the way towards the camp, and like all of the soldiers and stuff in the camp are kind of like eyeing you, some nervously, some hungrily, as you're taken into the camp proper. And we pan back to the woodsman's eyes like in the bushes.
Did you say hungrily?
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
And cool. We'll take a break there, and we can find out what hungrily means when we get back.
Oh my
Great plan, guys. Great plan.
Yeah, we're good.
It's working out great for you.
We're fantastic.
Cool. Stick around, everybody. We will be right back.